Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to my garage. I'm now doing some rear suspension work on my Baja, and I need to take my axles out just to get them out of the way, but this is a perfect opportunity for me to tear them apart, clean them all up, do an inspection, make sure everything is wearing as it should, and then put them back together, grease them all up, and then reinstall them. So I've got the axle out now, and what I need to do is take everything apart so that I can clean it up in the parts washer and just look at all the components, see if there's any irregular wear or anything like that. This part of the process is nasty because cleaning up all of this grease, and this is sticky RCV axle grease, so I'm going to take this all apart, clean it up. Everything here is made by RCV Axles. These are 930 CVs. This is a custom axle. I had them cut for me. And this is a CV, this is a non-plunging, this is meant actually for a Toyota Tacoma, but my Baja has Toyota Tacoma, or Toyota 4Runner hubs, and these fit right in there. These are basically the same size as a 930 as well. All right, now this is the 930 plunging CV on the transaxle side, and everything here is been all cleaned up and is ready for inspection. So if I look at this, and this only has a couple hundred miles, so I expect this stuff to all be great. I just want to make sure that I don't have a problem. So as I go through here, you know, there's small little wear marks, but everything is consistent. There's nothing that's blatantly obvious. I look around here. This one has a little bit more, but it's pretty minimal. So I think this looks good, and same thing with the cage. Nothing out of the ordinary on this. And the star also looks very consistent. Nothing that looks crazy. So I think we're good there. And then all the balls somehow, I don't know what this CV is made out of 300M, which is, I don't know, some weird variant of chromoly or something. This is the best 930 CV that RCV makes, and I don't know what the heck these balls are made out of, but there's not even any scratches on here. Like if I look in here, there's minor track marks where you can at least see that it's been used. But man, I'm telling you, I don't know what the heck these balls are made out of, but you can't tell anything. These must be made out of like super alien technology or something. But regardless, this now, and if you notice on here, I've put paint pen markings on everything before I took it apart. And that is just so that I like to be able to put it together exactly how I took it apart. Now, you know, that's I didn't mark all the balls, so I understand that this doesn't mean it's going back together perfectly, but I know that when I put it together, the star and the cage and everything is in the same orientation that I took them apart in. God, these are so much easier to work on when they're not full of grease. All right, so that is reassembled. Oh, look at that. Look at that. As I'm telling you, I line all these things up, I screw it up. What a doofus. All right, so let's pop all that out. And start over. Good sakes. They should make a competition on dry assembling these things. All right, now doing this again, you can see I've got all three of these lined up. All right, now you can see all these are lined up, so I know that everything is in the same orientation it was when I took it apart. Now this guy is nice and clean, feels good. I'm going to set him off to the side. He's ready for reassembly, but I need to go tear apart the other one first. All right, now this is the CV on the hub side, and everything has been all cleaned up and taken apart. And just like the 930 on the inboard side, this doesn't really have much use. So I'm just doing a basic inspection here, and I can see some marks where the balls are rubbing, but it's all of the wear looks very even, very smooth, looks very good on the cup side. The star also looks good. Again, it's got some wear marks, but it's all very smooth and it's all very consistent. That's the big thing, is that the wear marks are consistent. So everything looks good there. And with this star and with the star on the 930, I also tested it onto the axle to make sure that everything was just nice and smooth there. The cage as well. I think it's the cage. I don't know exactly what all these things are called. I make a lot of that stuff up as I go along. But again, everything looks good there. And again, this one is also made out of 300M. It's supposed to be the strongest that they can make. And once again, somehow the balls do not have any wear marks. I don't know what the heck. Somebody tell me if you know what these are made out of. They must be made out of some sort of titanium, unobtainium, 300M chromoly mixture. You can't find any wear marks on these things. It's crazy. One thing I have noticed is the balls on this are like 15 thousandths of an inch larger in diameter than the balls on the 930. So that's why I do everything completely separate, because I'm scared to death of mixing some of the parts up. And then just like on the 930, I put paint pen marks on the pieces so that when I assemble it, I can at least get it as close as possible. Now it's time to assemble this one, but this one is a non-plunging CV. Non-plunging CVs are much more difficult to take apart and put together, so I can't just slap this together in my hand. So I need to take it and clamp it into the vise and then put some grease in here and work them in piece by piece. So I'm gonna go do that right now. All right, so now I've got the star in here. I've got the cage. There's no balls in here yet, but everything has some grease on it so that it's moves around a little bit freely, or more freely, maybe. So when I move these around, I'll be using my hammer, but I don't like the hammer to ever touch this, so I actually use, this is just a brass little drift pin. All right, I think we're good, but I need to grab, I'm gonna grab the axle, put it in there, and see how it feels. Oh yeah, that feels good. These are always a little bit firm, but that feels like it normally feels. So this is actually, this looks good. This is the first one that I need to put back together and put the axle in. So now I'm just going to start packing this thing with grease. All right, now I've got this little C-clip that goes onto the axle. So this goes into the groove on the axle. This kind of floats around a little bit. I have some grease in there for sure. And what this does is when when you pound the axle in or out, you have to, it kind of gets compressed as it goes through, and then when it gets to the right point, it kind of snaps out, and that's what keeps it in place. Might be able to go too far, I'm not 100% sure. So I just try to gently tap on it and get it to go slowly if possible. So now it's sliding in. I've pushed it to the point that it's compressed that C-clip, and now I'm just going to gently tap it in until I'll feel it as it pops out as it gets to the void. The void. Okay, now, if it's in there right, yeah. So if it goes in there right, there is a little bit of play, but it's locked in there nice and tight. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. You just did an axle teardown, cleanup, inspection, reassembly, and installation with me. I've still got more work to do on the back of the suspension here, but I knew just doing that axle would be an entire video in and of itself. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe took something away. If you see something that I did that seems crazy wrong, let me know. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a ton of experience with CVs, but I've been playing around with these for a while now. I did pack the back side of that 930 before I put everything on here, so don't think that I only packed the front. I packed the rear, put the C-clip on, brought it over here, wanted to do the bolts while the front was as clean as possible. Once I had the bolts Loctited, torqued, and then locked or torque marked with that paint, then I went ahead and greased it all up. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, and take care.